Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager. Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Wednesday the 25th of the 8th, 2021. Time is just coming up to 0445, quarter to 5 in the morning. Asian session coming to a close, European session firing up, our lunchtime, North American session. Right, yesterday, Tuesday the 24th then, we had an opposed negative driver in the dollar at minus 28. Front and back door flows going equally into the euro and the pound at plus 18 apiece. They're joint movers and secondary drivers, and the yen was the negative rock at minus 8. Activity plus or minus, what have I written there? Plus or minus 50. Alright, so okay. Intra-week then, this is from Monday the 23rd of the 8th to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a positive opposed driver in the pound at plus 224. Front and back door flows mainly coming out the yen at minus 167, out the dollar at minus 123, and the euro is the positive rock at plus 66. Activity plus or minus 290. So over the week then we've had a strong pound driving. The flows mainly coming out of the yen and the dollar. The euro has been relatively static on the positive, and yesterday we had a dollar negatively driving the market, and so we had a slight turnaround there. Intraday, this is the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a positive opposed driver in the dollar at plus 48. Front and back door flows mainly coming out the yen at minus 29, out the euro at minus 21, and the pound was the positive rock at plus 2. Activity plus or minus 50. In fact, I've probably written the wrong. Yeah, I have there. So it's plus or minus 95 there. Yes, that's right, plus or minus 95. Right, so that's the activity for yesterday. Right, we're going to stop it there and write up the flows. Right, welcome back. We've written up the Asian flows then. So euro is strong except against the dollar, the yen and the pound, which are stronger. The yen is strong except against the dollar and the pound. The pound is strong except against the dollar. The Swiss is weak across the board. The CAD is weak except against the Swiss and the AUD. The AUD is weak except against the Swiss. The NZD is weak except against the AUD, the CAD and the Swiss. And the dollar is strong across the board. So what have we got? We've got Swiss weakness and dollar strength. And take your pick in the middle. And there's quite a mixed flow picture of relatively slow activity, low activity. So what's going to knock it about? Well, we've got German tier 2 business sentiment today. US durable goods and capital goods is the tier 1 event. Tomorrow, Thursday the 26th, we've got US GDP. So the capital goods will sort of feed into that GDP figure. Friday then 27th, Australian retail sales, Jackson Hole Summit, which is going to be, everybody's going to be glued to it for this taper sort of view of the US, and Michigan consumer sentiment. Right, so we'll stop it there and then we'll write up the asset classes and then do the final analysis. Right, we're back. We've written up the asset classes then. So start with the US dollar index. Basically it's been pumping higher, broke the double top, and now it's back at pretty much that sort of resistance support area, and it's 0.17 from the high. So dollar high, but just come off about 17%. Gold's been weak. Came up a bit, it's now sort of back at 0.50, so it's half marks. Gold can't make his mind up. Oil's been was high, now it's soft, and it's 0.40 from the floor. It's struggling to get back up to half marks. And then we've got Wall Street. Wall Street's been punching out new highs, and it's now 0.14, 14% from the high. So it's just sub high. S&P pretty much at the high, tech pretty much at the high. So Wall Street's slightly lagging, but not much. And you've got the US 10-year, which is the price. So the price has been pumping up, yields have been coming off. Then we had a bit of a stiffen up on yields, talking about the taper being brought forward. Then now we've got the price coming off, and the yields are basically 0.35 from the high is the price. That's where we are there. And the Bund, which is the German equivalent, price has been shooting up, yields have been soft, and it's 0.11 from the high. So basically European price bonds are relatively higher, so that means the yields are softer than the US at the moment. So yields are slightly stronger in the US compared to the European in model terms. Copper, big chop, big break, big thump down. It's now half marks. So copper's been pretty erratic to trade. US steel dropped off a cliff, came back, broke the high, and it's now sub highs. It's 0.27 from the high. Right, so that's that. And then we'll just try and do the final analysis. So if we review the flows in the context of what we've just said, and then we'll try and see what's going on generally. So where are we today? Today then, over the week then, intra-week, we've had the pound driving this week. So we've had a strong pound driving. We've had the yen soaking up the negative flows. And you've had this pump in equities. That sort of makes sense. The dollar's been relatively soft, but yesterday the dollar was soft, but it was starting to think about coming back. Strong pound driving this week, soft yen, soft dollar in net terms, and a positive euro. The Asian session has seen a stronger dollar driving, so there's bids for the dollar over the Asian session, with the yen still weak, and the pound static, and the euro bit soft. Last week then, which was Monday the 16th of the 8th to Friday the 20th of the 8th. So the last trading week, the pound was very, very soft. It was negatively driving at -551, and the bulk of the positive flows were going into the dollar and the yen. So the dollar was relatively strong last week, and then this week so far the dollar's been a bit soft. It's had the elbow room to do it. Right, so let's have a look at the majors then. So the dollar, the euro, the yen, and the pound. Right, and also if you look at the data flow out today, we've got German business climate sentiment. Bear in mind that Germany's had this increase in the virus. Excuse me. So that's an issue. And we've got US durable and capital goods. So you've got this capital goods thing, and you've got the taper at Jackson Hole in the dollar. The yen, you've got equities pretty much at the highs, and the euro, you've got the German German business sentiment. And you've got the COVID issue. So that's the sort of the scene, if you like. And if you look at the dollar index, it's coming off a bit, but and the flows would suggest the Asian flows are suggesting that the dollar's got a bit of strength to it. And the yen's got weakness, so they don't want to sell off the equities. Basically, equities are likely to be not sold off, and so it revolves around. So the yen is likely to be neutral to soft. So that's the yen. So that leaves the euro, the pound, and the dollar. The dollar's going to be dependent on these two issues: the capital goods orders and the taper, and that leaves the euro and the pound. The euro's a little bit soft, and So and the pound is static. So the pound is neutral to positive. The euro's negative, and that's where we are really. So just to write that up somewhere that isn't a mess. So dollar, euro, yen, pound. So yen neutral to negative. What else do we say? Pound neutral to positive. Euro negative, and the dollar. So you've got this neutrality here, and the dollar is likely to be neutral to positive. But there's no obvious flows at the moment. The capital goods will set the scene for US GDP, and that should set us up. So that's where we go, and we're going to get a little bit of an insight into Europe via the German business sentiment. So it's going to be, if you wanted to put your stick in, I'd probably say that assuming if we get weak German business sentiment, then shorting euro dollar would be favourite. But it's all dependent on data and noise at the moment. So hope that was useful. See you again tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thanks for watching.